Assalamu alaikum everybody. So today we're going to demonstrate you how to make this delicious spicy mutton tikka boti. We've made this in the oven and it turned out great. This is an amazing lunch or dinner. It goes especially well when you're trying to feed, a crowd of people, as you can bake a lot of meat at once. Here we've baked well over 2.5 kilos of meat. And yeah, so this is an amazing recipe. I hope you like it as much as I enjoyed it. And please like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell icon notification button. And without any further ado, let's get into it. This is a special video for Eid-Al-Adha and Qurbani Day. We're going to need, of course, lamb. And here we have 2,600 grams of boneless lamb. Then we're going to need a medium-sized onion, the juice of a medium-sized lemon, 4 whole green chilies, 8 cloves of garlic, and a thumb or an inch long piece of ginger. The whole spices that we're going to need are 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds, 6 cloves, 1 teaspoon of whole black peppercorns, 2 black cardamom pods, 4 green cardamom pods, 1 flower of mace. Mace looks like this. And half a piece of nutmeg and 6 whole dry red chilies. Now, keep in mind these whole spices will be ground up in a coffee grinder or spice grinder. For the rest of the spices, we're going to need 2 teaspoons of salt, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, 2 teaspoons of coriander powder, 1 teaspoon of red chili powder, about a half a cup of fresh chopped parsley, a quarter cup of vegetable oil, and half a cup of yogurt. And over here we got a quarter of a teaspoon of food coloring. So we will start by grinding our whole spices that we mentioned previously. So these ones over here. So here are our spices grinded and pulverized. So I'm just going to pour them in a separate container. Now we're going to move on to creating the actual paste. So here go in our 4 chilies. Please make sure you just break them into smaller chunks. Just making the work for your blender easier. Followed by our garlic and ginger, which is also being chopped up into smaller pieces. Then the onion, again, smaller pieces. Do not put the whole onion in. There we go. And now we're going to add a couple of tablespoons of water just to, make the blending process easier. And blend this on high speed. We'll start adding everything into our meat. So we'll start by putting in our paste, all of it, spice mix, red chili powder, coriander powder, turmeric, lemon juice, yogurt, oil, salt, food coloring, parsley. Get in there with your hands and mix everything up. Slowly and gently. I decided to change the container for my meat, and that is because that was too small. And also I finished marinating the meat, and I also have covered it with plastic wrap. This will go into the fridge and it will marinate for 12 hours for maximum flavor. Now you could only marinate it for 1 hour, 2 hours, or even half an hour, but again, that will not get you the maximum flavor. For the flavors to penetrate the meat, we have to give it time. So 12 hours is recommended. It's been more than 12 hours. The meat has been marinating overnight, and now it's time to cook it. So first thing, we have cut up some fresh veggies over here. We went with bell peppers. So we got a blend of green, orange, or yellow, and red peppers. So we're just gonna season them very lightly with a bit of salt. So here I've got half a teaspoon of salt. Black pepper, I've got a teaspoon of black pepper here. Small glug of olive oil. Make sure you mix this up very well. As you can see, I've also got a small selection of cherry tomatoes here, alright? So these will go on to the skewers with the vegetables and the meat. Okay, so grab yourself a skewer and we'll start putting everything on it. Now, since I have more meat, I'll be putting more meat onto my skewers than my vegetables. So I'll go in with three pieces of meat. Followed by 1 piece of bell pepper, then 1 piece of tomato, then again 3 pieces of meat. As you can see, I've put all the meat onto the skewers on the right hand side, the ones I've showed you at the beginning. So the meat, the peppers, the tomatoes in an alternating fashion. So I've got those, and there are 10 of them. On the other side, however, I have the only meat one, so that's just meat on the smaller skewers with the rest of the vegetables laid out like this. As you can see, I've lined both of my baking trays with parchment paper. This is to catch any drippings, and so if the drippings start burning, they burn onto the paper and they don't damage or they don't stick to my trays. So that's it. These are gonna go into a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius until the meat becomes tender. After an hour or so, as you can see, finally our spicy mutton tikka boti is finally ready. As you can see, it has taken on a beautiful brown color. It is tender, cooked all the way through. As you can see, the vegetables are lightly charred. Now the cook time will depend on your oven. Some take longer, some take less time. Every oven is different. So here we got our, skewers with vegetables and meat in an alternating fashion. On our right, we've got our other skewers. So these are just the meat skewers. As you can see, they've also cooked beautifully. You can see the color. So this is a close-up of how it looks. And the vegetables, they've also cooked. And on this side, we didn't show you how to make this, but we're accompanying this meat with some lovely naan, homemade naan bread, and a homemade naan paratha bread. And for sauces, you can do any sauce you'd like, but I prefer this amazing sweet Thai chili sauce accompanying it. And our drinks are some Pellegrino, and with some, sodas on the side. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. I hope you'll make this, enjoy it as much as I'm doing, and thank you very much for watching. Well done. Allah Hafiz.